Today, I want to talk to you about something that's becoming a little bit popular in the church communities. It has to do with the new technology. It's called NFC. It stands for Near Field Communication. And what that allows people to do is create these things called tap plates. I'm sure you've either seen them or heard about them. If not, I'm going to introduce you to the technology that's behind them. And I'm also going to talk to you about how you can now use Planning Center to actually build these tap plates or stickers or NFC tags. And what we're really talking about here is this technology that's based on these little tiny stickers. And I happen to have one with me right here. It's very small. It's about the size of a quarter, and it's a sticker. And this particular one I got off of Amazon. I'll link to some of these for you so you can see exactly where to get them. But there's all kinds of them. You can buy the little stickers, or you can buy something that's also referred to as a coin. And as we're looking at the screen here, you'll notice I've just got Amazon pulled up here and I was looking for NFC tags. And what you've got are these different types of little sticker-based coins or tags, depending on how you want to use them. But the beauty of these things is that you can literally program them and lead your congregation somewhere. And what that means is if they hold their phone up to one of these stickers or one of these plates or one of these tags, you can lead them to a web page or a sign up event, or you could go to a forum for first-time guests or visitors. You can also do this for giving, and you could lead somebody to a giving opportunity and a specific fund. There's all kinds of uses for these things. But the really nice thing is Planning Center has now made this available through the publishing app and also through a mobile app that they've created through something called Pico Labs, which is something that Planning Center has rolled out just a while ago, not too long ago. And Pico Labs is an experimental area where they start to develop new technologies. It may last, it may not. I do believe this is one that will stick around, but they are one of those kind of experimental opportunities to play with technology today that is kind of the cutting edge. And I like the idea of getting to create your own tags or NFC buttons or tap plates or whatever you'd like to do. Actually, you could stick these stickers on signs. You could put them anywhere, but it just makes it convenient for your congregation to take action. And they can do that on their phones. So let's look at how Planning Center has actually made this available. And let's take a look at how you might deploy it if you were going to get some of these tags and you wanted to set some of these up at your church. So to begin with, we have to move over to Planning Center Publishing, just because that's going to take us to a shortcut that I want to show you. So let's go over to the front door, the front page of Planning Center Publishing. And you'll see here, I'm just in my Sandbox account like always. But the first thing I want you to look at on the dashboard here is something called View and Share. And when you click on View and Share, there's a couple things that is just baked in. And one of those has to do with this URL. Now, if you want to use this URL and you want to lead people to a certain page in Church Center, you can certainly do that with either the QR code or this little link, and you can embed that link on a web page or something along those lines. But here's where the NFC tags come into play. Planning Center has created this little link here to lead you to their new app, and it's a mobile app called Links. So let's go ahead and click on this. It's going to go ahead and just lead us right to the App Store. Now, this is something you're going to have to do on your mobile device. So if you're on an iPhone and you have to go to the App Store, just search for Planning Center Links in the App Store. It'll bring you to this exact same page. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. This is the little icon with 2 links on it. This little purple icon down here just shows that this is part of what they call Pico Labs, their research and development area. And so again, it's not an official Planning Center app yet. I guess it is official since Planning Center released it, but it is, like I said, something that's a little bit experimental. And if for some reason they want this to go away and not actually pursue this later, they may just discontinue it. So keep that in mind. But right now you can see this is an app with lots of buttons. And I've downloaded it. I want to walk you through what this looks like on my mobile device. So I'm going to go to my iPhone and I'm going to share that screen with you and walk you through some of the really cool things you can do with NFC tags and use Planning Center's Links app to program those tags and create your own versions of them. Okay, let's take a look at that. I've got the app pulled up here on my phone, and I'm just going to walk you through this. I want to show you exactly what this does. But before we even jump in there with some of the buttons, I want to show you that Planning Center is making this really easy for you. If you'd like to go purchase some of these NFC tags, they've even given you a link to show you some that they recommend. So if we click on this first option here and you take a look at which NFC tags they're recommending, you can see here that they've got several that you can just click on and jump right into Amazon. And they've made it super simple. All you have to do is click here, view on Amazon. It'll take you right to it. They've got the 1-inch circles, the 1.5-inch squares, and they've also got this business card size, which is really neat as well, because ultimately the business card size can be set all over the place and people can just tap on those. And they work great for lots of different uses. But let's get back to how we can program these things. So number one, they've got some tools built in here, and they're at the very bottom. You'll notice here it says Inspect NFC Tag. Now, if you're working with a tag that you've played with or actually done something with previously, you might want to see what's on the chip or what's on the tag itself. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scan this. So I'm going to say Inspect a tag. It's going to look for it, and it says, okay, go ahead and hold this hold your phone right next to the tag. So I've done that. And it's going ahead and scanned it, and it's showing the URL that's programmed into the tag that I have. Now, this particular one shows the chip type. It shows the protection type. It says read only, and then it shows the URL that I was actually leading people to if they had held their phone next to this tag. Now, what you might do with this is up to you, but Planning Center has given you all kinds of options for you to use either a church center link, a check-ins link to make things really easy for your parents, or a giving opportunity where you can set up a specific fund, a people form for somebody who's interested in serving and getting involved, or they really want to fill out that first-time guest form simply, and this is an easy way for them to do that. So just to explore this a little bit, let's go with Church Center. When you click on that, it's going to show you the Church Center app install is part of this. So if you're leading your congregation to install Church Center, this is a great feature to allow you to launch Church Center and put these little tap plates all over the place, or stickers or signs with NFC stickers behind them. Doesn't matter. People can walk up and tap it, and it will literally send them to your church's deep link. Now, remember, this is a deep link, so it takes them to Church Center, and then it takes them to your church. So it's not like they just go to Church Center and they have to go search for your church. This takes them to the app, they download the app, and then it takes them immediately to your church. So it's really, really handy for rolling out Church Center to your congregation. That's one use. Now, there's a bunch of other ways you can utilize this, and you'll notice here that this is not the only thing that you can do. So let me take this a step further. If you would like to show people different things, you can even do custom URLs. That means you could set this up to lead somebody to a page on your website. Maybe there's something specific you want people to go to and read. That's one way to do it, but we're going to focus on the Planning Center options today. So let's say you want to do something with check-ins. Now, with this particular one, it allows you to lead people to that, what we call pre-check-in, or the way that you can check your children in on the way to church or as soon as you get there. And so what this does is it allows you to bypass long lines, and it allows you to just do this check-in opportunity by tapping on this plate. It's similar to the QR code option that we have available for doing a pre-check-in. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like if you're going to lead somebody to the check-ins opportunity in Church Center. So let's just say right now, here's the URL. You can see it's churchcenter.com/check-ins. And now if I want to share this URL, I click the button, and this is where you can choose, do I want to write one of these NFC tags? And this little app is going to help you do that. Or you can even do this with QR codes. So if you just simply want a quick, easy way to create a QR code that leads to something specific, click here and you can just grab this particular QR code. You can share it and you can basically download it if you need it. You can go back here though, and you can write this tag. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this right up to, and look here, my tag is set to read only. And this is something that you may run into. So when you write a tag with this app, it will set it to read only so nobody can walk up to it and just overwrite it and kind of hack your NFC tag. So that's kind of built in here. Now, I'm going to start with a fresh one so you can see how to do this, but the idea is the same. You're going to want to make sure it's read only so that way people don't hack your tags and send them somewhere they shouldn't. So let's take a look at a fresh tag and let's walk through that one more time. Okay, so let's jump back in here. Now we've got ourselves a new fresh NFC tag. So I'm going to show you what that looks like just so you can see that this is a fresh tag. I'm going to go back for just a second and I'm going to click back to the main screen down to the bottom again, and I'm going to click inspect and it's ready to scan. So I'm going to hold this over and close to my tag. There it goes. And I just want to show you this chip type is the same, but none. Protection type is none. So right now there's no protection type on this particular tag, but what that actually means is we can now fill it with a content type and we can lock it down to protect it so that nobody can do what we talked about before and go in there and change things. So I'm going to scroll back up here. Let's go back and let's write something here. I'm going to use the check-ins app. Once again, I'm going to click on share this church center URL. Again, this is for check-ins, but obviously it's tied to Church Center, so it kind of comes through Church Center. But I'm going to go ahead and show you. We're going to write the tag. Now, when we write this tag, we just do the exact same thing. You hold your phone close to the tag. You'll get a little vibration, and it'll let you know that it's ready and it's got it. And now it's written it, and just to prove that, let's go back to where we were just a second ago. Click back and down to the bottom, inspect the tag. And sure enough, we'll do it again. And let's see what information it wrote to the tag. And there we go. It's now looking at our check-ins URL. It says it's read-only. So now we have formatted this tag with a read-only scenario, can't be changed. And it's ready to go. If somebody were coming to church with their children, they had done the pre-check-in on the way to church. Normally, there's a little QR code that pops up in Church Center, and we say, hold that up in front of a camera. You don't necessarily have to have cameras enabled. You can actually have what we call a fast pass, and that's where that person's going to come in, they're going to scan it, and they're going to check in just by doing the actual NFC tag or the tap plate or the sticker or whatever you decide to do. So rather than having to use the camera on the mobile device, they can now use an NFC tag. That's just one way you can do it. There's all kinds of possibilities here. I'm just starting down the path with the easy ones. Just don't forget, you do have a couple other options here. You do have the giving option. You can choose a fund that you want people to give towards. This could be very specific for a special giving opportunity, and you want it to go into a certain fund for maybe missions, or maybe it's something totally different. That's how you do it. Same rule applies. Everything looks the same. If you don't want the secure read-only option, you can always turn that off right here. Forgot to mention that on the last go around when we did it. But just to show you some of the possibilities here, a people form. All your people forms are available here. You can look through this and you can find the form like the new family form. If you want to have somebody visit the new family forms at your church, you can basically put this tap plate at the front desk of your children's check-ins area. That way a new family comes, you can say, if you're new, start here. Go to this little tap plate or go to this sticker, go to this whatever, hold your phone up to it. It'll immediately take them to the form that they need to fill out. Obviously, you can still do the QR code if you want to have a QR code somewhere also. They all do the same thing. This just makes it really easy for you to now generate these links or these kind of access paths, we'll call them, into Planning Center. And we can look at a couple of the other areas here. We have the ability to look inside of publishing. That's exciting because what that allows us to do is look at all the published pages that we have in publishing, and we can link directly to one of those custom pages. And so when we do that, we're basically sending somebody into Church Center and directly to that page that we want them to go to for additional information or something along those lines. So don't forget, you can do it with groups. You can do it with specific group types. You can do it with just a specific group. Just explore, look at all the possibilities. Calendar has events here where you can pull up the calendar. You can do the same thing with signing up for an event. Maybe you've got VBS coming up and you'd like to just set a bunch of these tap plates for just parents who want to sign their kids up and they're in the lobby ready to go after service, and you've just opened VBS signups. This is a great way to make it a little more fun, get a little more participation right off the bat. So one of the other things that we like to point out is sometimes you'd like to give people the opportunity to update their profile. And so you have the ability to do that with a custom one. And if you want to set up a custom URL, you get to choose where you're going to send. Sometimes that could be the me page inside of Church Center / profile. And that allows your families to go in, update their own information, update their children's information, maybe make a big deal out of this and you're going to do a church-wide audit and say, we'd love to serve you better. We just need to make sure we have your latest, greatest information. And if you could just take a look at your profile as well as your household's profile and make sure everything's up to date, we want to be able to communicate with you and we want to be able to serve you better. So that's one way to do it. There's all kinds of uses for this. It's a lot of fun to play with and set these up, but I do think it can be a really nice shortcut or access path for your congregants to utilize these things. You don't have to get super expensive and go buy the tap plates. You can use these as stickers. You can use them as little coins if you want to. We showed like the little 1-inch versions, but you can also just use a sticker and stick it behind a poster and say, step up to this sign or this poster and hold your phone up to it, and it'll do the exact same thing. So there's lots of different ways to make it interactive and kind of fun. Hopefully you're going to be able to play with this. Go to Amazon, check them out. They're super cheap. Lots of fun to make this stuff available in all different areas, from your kids to your students to your parents. Everybody can participate when it comes to tap plates or tags. And I just wanted to show you that Planning Center is making that available now. Take advantage of it. Go check it out.